Hi there! Today we're making these cute wire wrapped earrings. If you want to see more tutorials like this one, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get wrapping. For this project we need 2 head pins. These can be ready-made or you can make your own, and there's a link to the video on that in the description below. Then we need 0.4mm diameter copper wire, which is 26 gauge, 6 beads, the ones I'm using is 6mm, but I'll talk about options on that in a bit, 2 ear hooks or earring findings, and optionally 2 jump rings. These just add an extra design and make the earrings a bit longer. And the tools we need are wire cutters, round nose pliers, and flat or chain nose pliers. We're going to start with one of the head pins and 20cm of the 0.4mm or 26 gauge wire. There'll be plenty of this left over, but it's easier to work with at this length. We're going to gently bend it in half just to find the centre, and put that centre on what will be the front of the earring. Then we'll take one of the sides right the way around the back and to the front again, and do the same with the other side. Then we can cross both of those wires over the front. And just make sure those wraps are sitting tight and neatly together. And as you can see, we've got 2 wraps on the back. So now we can add the beads. Now you could add these individually, but I like to put them all on at this point. And then we want to start with the wire end that's closest to the bead. And we want to hold that bead in place. And this is a little bit fiddly to hold and show you. But take that wire around the side of the bead, behind the head pin, and wrap it around so it crosses the front again. Then we can take the next bead and do exactly the same with the wire again, taking it around the side, around the back of the head pin, and around across the front. And then do the same with the third bead. And this time we'll wrap an extra time around the head pin at the top there. This is how it looks from the side. And then we want to do the same with the wire the other side. And I just need to figure out how best to hold it and show you. But as you can see, we're taking that wire from the bottom around to the back and then wrapping it around and across the front again. I think it's easier if I turn it around and do this from the back. So we'll take the wire around the second bead, round the back and across the front. And then the same again with the third bead, around the side, around the back of that head pin. And then around the front at the top. And then that extra full wrap around again. And at this point we can move those wires around a bit so they're sitting just where we want them to be. And from the front they'll frame those beads nicely. Then we'll take those weaving wires to the back and trim off the excess. Make sure those ends are flush. Then we can trim the head pin. Bend it forward a bit, just above where those wraps are. And then create a loop with our round nose pliers to hang it with. Then we just need to open the jump ring, add it to that loop, and add our ear hook. And that's the first earring done. Now for the second earring, we're going to create it in exactly the same way, except for a mirror look, we want to wrap that wire at the bottom in the opposite direction. So where previously that top wire was crossing over to the right, it's now crossing over to the left. And then we'll add the beads. And for this earring, I'm going to try and show it in real time, how I'd make it if I'm not demonstrating it, just to show you how quick it can be. And we want to start with the wire end that's closest to the bead again. So this time that's that left-hand side. Then we'll make the design as before. While I'm using 3 6mm black beads, you can really experiment with this design, using more beads, or try it with just one. You can use different coloured beads, or graduated shades. And you can even experiment with different sizes of beads, using say 2 6mm beads with an 8mm bead in the middle. And you could try thicker or thinner wire for wrapping too. And if you want to make links in the same sort of design, take a look at the video that I'll link in a card above and in the description below on 3 types of chain links. One of the 3 designs is like this, but it uses just the thin wire to both go through the beads and to wrap them. So we'll just trim the excess from that head pin. Make sure everything's straight. And make the loop at the top. Then we can add the jump ring. Check which side's the front, so we can add the ear hook the right way. And our earrings are finished. If you enjoyed this tutorial, why not head to this playlist for more? Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.